this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts with a video for December the 5th of the Papercraft Society Advent Calendar. It is November the 19th when I'm filming this, and I need to admit, against my plan, I have opened all the pouches of the Advent Calendar. Mainly because I was a bit poorly in between. I couldn't craft, and then I like to plan ahead. So I'm not giving you any spoilers, but I know something that you don't know yet, and this is why I'm not using all of the bits at once. So this pouch, actually, I have even cut it apart because I thought I would use some of that cardstock. For the 5th of December, this is by Made to Surprise, so a Sam Calcut pouch. And this is what is in it. There are 3 leaf dies, which are really cute, and I like the fact that I haven't got anything like that yet. This is sort of a jungle leaf. That's a ginkgo leaf. Not quite sure what this is. I won't be using these today because I want to make another Christmas card. I'm still in the Christmas card mood. I know I need to make a few more to send early in December at the latest, so I won't be using them, but I will be using these at a later date. The other die is this one here, and immediately when I saw this, I thought this must be a wiper die for a wiper card, and I have cut this from dark green cardstock to go with my colour scheme, and I've already folded it. I can only assume, because the wiper die I've seen, and I checked out a few videos by Sam Calcut, the ones I have seen, or the ones that you make yourself, you only need that triangle. So I assume that this is to use it on other directions, and maybe even have a double wiper. I'm not sure why it's got this size. So, and because I haven't made the card before, as always, I'm just delving into this. I will figure out on the way how that works. So what I have prepared though ahead of filming this is, as I said, I've looked into wiper cards on YouTube, and I'm going to link to the one below that I'm following. And oh, this is my notes. I have prepared my card base. I'm making a 6x6 card. Sam Calcut also has got some 5x7 cards on her playlist. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So you need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 8 by 6 inches for the card base. I originally thought I would go for green, but I've gone for white instead now. And you need to score these at 1 and 2. I have already done that here. And then for the layers, I'm only having 1 pattern layer on the front. You can have it on the back as well. I just cut a square 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and I've chosen this dinosaur paper. This is, I showed you that last year. This was from the works last year. I'm not sure whether it's still available, probably not, but I thought this would be good fun to use. And I put in brackets here 1 white. This is only if you've got a coloured card base, you will need a piece of white for the back for your sentiment, but because my cardstock or my card base is white, I don't need that. And then I've cut 4 panels that are 7/8 wide and 5 3/4 long. So I cut that from the same cardstock, but when I cut it, I made sure that I had this little dinosaur in the middle. So with all these pieces, I only had a little bit of excess that I had to throw away, but I wanted these all to be visible. I didn't want to cut through the green dinosaur. So, and for the front of the card, because we've got a big piece basically here that needs to be embellished, I have cut. The idea came actually about because I still had this this little star here on my desk from another project. So I thought my wiper piece, I could put just the little die cut here, and this is a little dinosaur, which funnily enough matches the dinosaur here with a present. This one is from Simply Creative, and I got this really cheaply in a large set at Printable Heaven. Again, if it's still available, I'm going to link to that below. And all I've done with that is I've cut it from green cardstock. Then I used my metallic pen just to paint the head. I painted the white just with a gel pen, and for the present I just put a really thin piece of scrap paper in the back, and before I glued it down I painted it with the blue metallic pen. So, but obviously you could use coloured cardstock if you wanted to. You could do some paper piecing. I didn't want that. Once I've stuck this down, I think I will paint in the eye black, but for now I will leave it here because I'm not quite sure yet whether the star will fit. So I thought before I glue this down, I'll leave it like this. But I think the little dinosaur is really, really cute. So, and then but this is for the wiper bit, and then for the front of the card, I thought I might just as well use a star here. I've cut a sentiment, Merry Christmas, in this sort of sparkly red. I thought that would go nicely with the colour scheme. I even thought about, I cut a few pieces actually. I cut this in green and thought maybe I would mat it with the white, but I don't know if that's too much. I think I'll decide on that once I've assembled the card. So obviously you can use any sort of embellishment. You can use a stamped image on the front. This is just basically I'm just showing you the basic card, which hopefully will work. So let me just zoom out just a little bit more, get a full card on there. So what we need to do with this card here, we need to fold the cardstock. So on the 2-inch line you will have to create a valley fold, and then the other one's a mountain fold. And I'm using a 300 GSM cardstock. I don't think it needs to be that heavy, especially if you mat it and have various layers. But the other cardstock I had wasn't very thick, so I just thought I'd be on the safe side. So I'm going to do the same with this one here. A valley fold on the 2-inch and a mountain fold on here. So, and basically what you do is you turn this one over and this will be mounted onto here, basically like this. But we're not doing that just yet. So what I need to do now, I need to just see if there's a front and the back. No, they're both facing backwards. Could have folded them the other side, but it doesn't matter with this cardstock. So I'm going to place this on here. I'm going to glue this panel on, and I will also, nope, I don't need to glue anything else on just yet. Oh yes, what I can do is I can put these panels on the side here, so that will go on there, and then I need to decorate these two. Is that right? Yes, because this one will be covered. So I shall quickly do this off camera, trying to keep this video short, and then I'll show you how we continue. I've adhered all my panels. I just used my sticky tape here. Because this is paper rather than cardstock, I find the tape is a bit nicer and leaves less residue. And for this panel here, I've already stuck this down. I hope I haven't done this wrong. I have just used my quick grab glue, which is the Cosmic Shimmer Glue. So I'll have glued this on there. And now I have already marked 2 inches from the top. I'm on the side here, I've got my iPad with a video from Sam Calcott. So she has this upside down. So I hope I'm not doing it wrong. And you now need to, let me just test that. Yeah, you need to put some glue onto this triangle and stick it down like this. And you need to make sure that this half of that die cut is on this 1-inch panel here, so that this score line doesn't go over there. So, and that's all you need to do, I think. I hope this works. If it doesn't, I'll have to, stop filming and figure this out. So just a little bit there. I'm just spreading it out so it doesn't ooze out too much. And this just gets stuck down here. So just making sure I don't have anything underneath there. So, and I'll leave that to sit there for a moment. I have got the idea of cutting this down, actually, rather than this sticking out in green, to cut it down and to just use some of the acetate that came in the pouch to stick the star on. So I think I will just leave this to dry for a minute and then come back and see if the mechanism works. Okay, so I've turned my card over, but it does work. So definitely make sure this is completely dry. You could also use some red tape if you wanted to make sure that this is properly adhered. So you fold this over like this, and you can have a trial run by basically placing the top layer here on that panel here, and then if you pull it, it comes out at the top. So because I don't want the green, I have an idea how much I need to cut off there, basically everything that sticks out the top. And I have already cut myself a little piece of that acetate from the packaging. I didn't want it to be wider than the bottom of the star. I actually need to cut it a bit smaller. So let me just use my scissors for that. It doesn't have to be precise. So let me just measure. So that's now just under 1.5 inches wide. But obviously it depends on what you have that you want to adhere. And the important thing is when you fold this down, that this is not wider than the area here. You can't have it sticking out wider. So I will definitely cut this down. I will actually cut it down to this. Let me just show you again in the light, down to this triangle there, because I definitely don't need that. So because it will be hidden, I'll just do this with my scissors. And then if I fold this down again, where's my piece of acetate? There it is. I know now how much I can stick and how far I have to move this down. So I'm using for this, definitely using the red tape, because I've got acetate and that's the best way to adhere acetate. So sorry if I'm going off camera, I've just forgotten that I zoomed in a little bit. So let me get my non-stick scissors. So making sure this is straight, although again probably doesn't really matter. And then I will also put, I don't want the acetate to stick out the top, so I will put this about here. Again, I'm still not quite sure whether that works perfectly. So if you ever struggle getting tape off, make sure it's stuck down properly. I used to have the problem and then found I hadn't pressed it down properly. There we go. So, sitting this in the middle here. And obviously it's facing the front there, so I'll just test this again. So it would stick out like that and then disappear behind here, so that works fine. Oh, I like that. It's a bit wobbly, obviously, but the good thing I like about this style of wiper card is it doesn't catch anywhere, so you can have quite a bit of bulk. Because the other thing I was thinking before I found my little dinosaur die, I think the year I bought this, so last year, I also bought some wooden embellishments that had sort of print on them. I think they're wooden, and they're slightly thicker, so I thought about maybe using something like this, so you can have a bit of bulk on your embellishment there. But yeah, I think this is quite cool. There's a bit of residue on the packaging there. I could just get rid of that with my spirit alcohol, but yeah, I think this is quite cool. So what I do now is I will glue this down. Remember, this is sideways at the moment, so I will have to stick him down here like this. I will just use my two-way zip glue because this is mess free, and then I will put glue on this panel and make sure I'm going to align this and stick this down to have it like this. And then again, I'll do this off camera. I will put my star on. Still not sure whether I want it with a green or whether I just have it plain. So I shall quickly do this off camera and then I'll show you the finished card. I suggest to put the decorations on the front before you adhere the side here. I added a little, another little die cut, also from the same company as the dinosaur, and it's this little present die, but I cut off the little tag because that was a bit getting in the way, and I left it as it is. I could have layered it as well, but I think it's fine as it is because I just wanted to add something there because I moved the Merry Christmas that high up. And when you glue the side panel down here, make sure it folds flat, because if it doesn't, then it's a bit difficult to sand. It is slightly, it's got a bit of bulk to it, but I will hand this over anyway. So, and then when the recipient opens this, I don't know if I have to add anything to it, but probably when I hand it over, I will mention it. So the recipient can then pull it apart like that, and the dinosaur pops out of the top. How much fun is that? And it very quick, easily folds back in there. So I just forgot, I will add a little black there for the eye. I think that'll look nicer, but yeah, I think this is so much fun. And obviously it's one of those cards you can just add any sort of pattern, anything that you like. You can, if you want to, mat these panels, so have them in a different coloured cardstock and then pattern paper on top. I just went for this single layer here, and yeah, any embellishment will do, and obviously any occasion. So a very useful die. I will use this again, although it's obviously quite easy as well to make your own, but yeah, very handy to have. And as I said before, I know I will use these quite soon. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it for you, but I think these will come in handy soon. And don't forget, you can use your pouches as cardstock. It's a very nice green, so that'll be used quite soon. So yeah, if you like this card and think it's as much fun as I do, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, especially if you want to follow this series of the Papercraft Society Advent Calendar, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video.